Om. Dear ones in self, I am Rani from Varkala, Thiruvananthapuram, South India. I am presenting the paper Epistemology in Atmopadesha Shadakam. Narayana Guru presents Vedanta as pure epistemology, a science of consciousness. Guru conceives consciousness as the one all underlying reality. Realizing Brahman, the ultimate reality, as the being of oneself or Atma is the theme of Brahmavidya. Narayana Guru revisualizes Brahmavidya as Atmavidya, the science of the self, in his most important philosophical work, Atmopadesha Shadakam. Atmopadesha Shadakam begins with clarifying the nature of reality searched for. It is one Karu or core reality that shines brightly both in the form of the one who knows and that which exists externally as the non-objective world. The non-dual nature of this Karu is to be attained as an experiential awareness, an intuitive experience in which the three basic factors of knowledge, the knower, the known, and the knowledge, merge in one primeval effulgence, Adi Mahasa. Guru defines consciousness as effulgence. In Atmopadesha Shadakam, Guru says, Aham irulalla irulagil antharai naam, aham ahamenariyadirunnideenam. Arivadinal aham anthagaramallennu, arivadiningene aarkumodideenam. The I is not darkness, were it so blind, and unaware of this I, we should have remained. Because of such awareness, in order to know thus, to one and all declare. Consciousness is not darkness in essence. Were it so, we would have remained unaware of ourselves. But we are aware of ourselves. So, the self is not darkness in essence. Consciousness is self-luminous. It shines forth inwardly as subjective experience forming the world of knowledge. It shines forth outwardly as the objective world, the world of the known. In verse 27 of Atmopadesha Shadakam, Guru gives a very precise and positive definition of Atman or consciousness. Sitting in the dark, that which knows itself is Atman. Irulilirunariyunnadagum Atmava Arivadudan. Atma is the consciousness that even in the darkness is conscious of itself in the light of its own existence. One directly experiencing the effulgence reality as oneself in its purest sense is called Turiya Bodha, the fourth state of consciousness. Turiya is usually given a negative definition, but Guru defines Turiya in positive terms. To know from bottom to top that which is bottomless and topless is Turiya Bodha. Adimudiyattu mauliyandam spudamariyunnadu Turiya Bodhamagum. What shines as the one who knows and what shines externally as the known are consciousness in essential content, which was referred to as Karu in the first verse. Then, all that appears to be is a sportive self-display of consciousness or ariva or chit. To put it in Guru's words, Know all this to be its own sport divine, beginningless, in the domain of consciousness ever going on. One realizing oneself to be the consciousness reality is described by the Guru in verse 35. ഒരു 10,000 ആതിഥേയരൊന്നായി വരുവതുപോലെ വരും വിവേകവൃത്തി അറിവിനെ മൂടും അനിത്യമായയാമീ ഇരുളിനെ ഈർന്നെഴും ആദിസൂര്യനത്രേ. Like the dawn, altogether of 10,000 solar orbs, wisdom's function comes. Such verily is that which tears asunder this wisdom hiding, transient Maya darkness here, and as the primal sun prevails. The powers of wisdom or consciousness reality are endless. The entire world and our own existence is in consciousness and as consciousness. Our individual consciousness is a mere fragment of this one consciousness reality. The potentials hidden in consciousness are immense. Guru asserts of infinite potentials is consciousness. Guru categorized the functions of consciousness into two, Sama and Anya. Sama literally means the same. Anya means the other. This classification and the reflections that follow are something not seen anywhere else in Vedantic literature as well as in philosophy. For this reason, this could easily be treated as an original contribution of Narayana Guru to the entire realm of philosophy and Vedanta in particular. Which of these functions is to be given primacy, Sama or Anya? Guru here directs us not to rely on any one of these, instead directing us to the central neutral core form, the Karu, in which both Sama and Anya meet. For reaching this neutral core form, both kinds of potentials are to be profitably made use of in a unitive way. How to perceive in ourselves the one consciousness by making use of these two potentials? Let us take the example of a magnetic piece. It is a piece of steel that has two magnetic pulls at both poles, one opposite to the other. These two opposite forces exist in one and the same piece of steel, and without these it cannot be considered a magnet. The magnet really is neither of these poles, but is the one piece of steel in which these opposite forces exist simultaneously. Likewise, the existence of the one neutral consciousness is to be intuitively perceived with the two forces Sama and Anya existing in it simultaneously. This could also be graphically represented. The vertical axis stands for the Sama aspect and the horizontal axis for the Anya one. Then the neutral consciousness is represented by the meeting point of the two axes. This point is neither vertical nor horizontal, that is neither Sama nor Anya. Guru calls it Anya Samya. A magnet is merely a gross object, whereas consciousness is an inner experience of the essential content of one's own being. I then have to realize myself as the neutral content in which both Sama and Anya meet with no contradiction. Put otherwise, I, the perceiver, has to become merged in that core form, Karu. We may have to face difficulties or vishamas one after the other in life. We may also find someone else or something else as the cause of this. If none such is found, we may even think of God as causing this, as if God is someone else existing somewhere else. Closely looked at, we find the real cause in ourselves. We rely always on the Anya kind of knowledge. Anya is the basic cause of our problems. Winning over this tendency in us is the only means of doing away with all such difficulties. When Sama is relied on, we no longer find what we till then treated as difficulties, something to worry about, but merely as part of life's flow. How to win over this Anya? The means prescribed here by Guru is to have the power of the unimpaired discriminative awareness, Akhanda Viveka Shakti. It is nothing other than the non-dual experience. Winning over the difficult Anya and gaining access to the discriminative wisdom may take place one followed by the other. Annihilating totally the Vishama or Anya aspect of the function of consciousness is not at all possible, and that is not what we need either. Basically, Anya has to be admitted as a functional phase of consciousness. Winning over it by means of the power of the strong interest in the Sama and the ultimate happiness it results in alone is what we need. Let us not run after the variety of the objects of sense pleasure. Let them come after us and become helpful in attaining our goal. This needs a clear understanding of what Sama and Anya are. What are Anya and Sama? In verse 38, Guru says, പലവിധമായി അറിയുന്നതന്യ ഒന്നായി വിലസുവതാം സമ എന്നു മേലിലോതും നിലയെ അറിഞ്ഞ് നിവർന്ന് സാമ്യമേലും കലയിൽ അലിഞ്ഞു കലർന്നിരുന്നിടേണം. Knowing the many and varied is the Anya kind of knowledge. The Sama shines in oneness seen. With this understanding of states and yet to state, remain one should steadfast, thawed and merged with the state, most subtle of equivalence. All that we see as we open our eyes is multiplicity. Shape-wise, color-wise, quality-wise, existence, pattern-wise, and in many other aspects. All such variety of entities together forming a systematic whole is what we call the world and even cosmos. Thus, the world has innumerable visible objects, their corresponding names, and the respective ideas for its constituent factors. Knowing the many as existing is the Anya kind of knowledge. In modern terminology, we could say Anya is the analytical way of knowing the real. Another kind of knowledge also we do have as we inwardly look at what happens within us. Then we become aware of the event of knowing each and every object as this is a knowledge, this is another knowledge, this is yet another knowledge I have, and so on. Every specific knowledge then finds its oneness in knowledge. Bringing all knowledges under one category is the Sama kind of knowledge. Here we are capable of perceiving oneness in all the multiplicity of experiences. This way of perceiving oneness of knowledge or consciousness is termed Sama. What is our goal? Intuitively perceiving the non-dual oneness or Sama and Anya in consciousness reality is the most subtle aspect in our disciplined spiritual enquiry called sadhana. A sort of firmness is required to fix our attention on the above set neutral oneness with no leaning towards the side of either Sama or Anya. Verse 41 and 42 clearly show the examples of the Anya and Sama kinds of knowledge, what their specific aspect Visheshas are, how Anya mysteriously creates the world impression, and how Sama serves as a means of attaining the goal. Now let's see verse 41. ഇതു കുടമെന്നതിലാദ്യമാം ഇതെന്നുള്ളതു വിഷമ കുടമോ വിശേഷമാകും മതിമുതലായ മഹേന്ദ്രജാലമുണ്ടാവതിന് ഇതുതാൻ കരുവെന്നു കണ്ടിടേണം. The initial this in this is a pot is the ardus, where the pot is what makes it specific. For the mind and such magic-like great appearances to emerge, know this to be the causal core. The type of knowledge that perceives everything as separately existing and as separately known objects is the Anya, which in this verse is called Vishama. This is the realm of our world experience. The knowledges like this is a pot, this is a pen, etc. are of Anya kind. Of this, the this is of generic nature, because if someone says simply this, it creates merely a vague and generic sense that something is going to be said about something. This generic sense gains specificity when the words is a pot are added. In this sense, pot is the specific aspect of this Anya kind of knowledge. Anything could be referred to as this. Anything could be added to this in order to make it specific. Thus, this covers all its specific aspects. Put otherwise, all the specific aspects are the unfoldment of the one generic this. That means the this of the Anya type of knowledge is causal to all the worldly specific experiences to emerge, whether such experiences are subjective or objective. Both the subjective and objective realms of our experience and each element in it are referable as this. This unfoldment of all realms of expressible experiences from the one this is a great magic-like phenomenon. The Anya type of the function of consciousness divides even our own being into many referable parts like this is my mind, this is my head, this is my eye, this is my hand, and so on. It divides the world as this is a pot, this is a table, this is a book, and so on. The potential of the Anya type of knowledge is so mysterious that it creates a world of infinite this. This must be won over. How to win over this Anya? Winning over Anya is a meditative one which Guru explains in verse 42. ഇതമറിവെന്നതിലാദ്യമാം ഇതെന്നുള്ളതു സമ തൻ്റെ വിശേഷമാണ് ബോധം മതി മുതലായവയൊക്കെ മാറി മേൽ സദ്ഗതി വരുവാൻ ഇതിനെ ഭജിച്ചിടേണം. The initial this in this is knowledge is sama, while its attribute is cognitive consciousness. For the mind and all else to vanish and the good path to gain, this should one contemplate. The sama is the kind of knowledge that shines in oneness seen. Let's take the event of knowing an object. The event of knowing takes place as our experience. All these experiences get formulated in one and the same consciousness. Every such experience could be referred to as this is a knowledge, this is another knowledge, this is yet another knowledge, and so on. That means all that could be understood thus find their oneness in knowledge. Such is the sama kind of knowledge that shines in oneness seen. Here, all specific knowledges come under the generic term knowledge. Thus, every specific knowledge can be considered as this is a knowledge. Bringing all knowledges under one category is the example of sama kind of knowledge. In the sentence, this is a knowledge, also that this side is of generic nature and it is made specific by knowledge, which itself is something very generic. In this case also, the specific merges in the generic. The this of which knowledge is the specific is to be meditated on. The contemplation of this generic source leads one in realizing the Turiya mentioned earlier, and this attainment is referred to as Sadgati, attaining the ultimate goal. In fact, this alone is the one method of meditation the Guru recommends in Atmopadesha Shataka. How to reach the final goal or Sadgati? If we closely examine this is a knowledge, the is a knowledge part gives oneness to all forms of knowledge. Yet, this knowledge element is something specific to the this part, which is a generic one. Our ordinary thinking helps us arrive only up to the oneness of everything in knowledge. But reaching the generic this is beyond the grasp of our reasoning. What we need is a meditative inward look. The more we resort to this inward look, the more we reach nearer to the final goal, Sadgati. In the statement, this is knowledge, this denotes the unconditioned consciousness of which all generic and specific experiences originate. The seeker, finding his being in the being of that consciousness, just as a wave finds its oneness with the ocean, is our ultimate goal, Sadgati. In order to attain this goal, first we have to reduce all experiences into one experience. This is knowledge. and then to meditate on this part of it. But this is not an intellectual exercise. Guru says it is a meditative perception, a darshana, an experiential revelation, as if 10,000 suns rising all at once. Let me conclude my presentation. Thank you all.